You ever play a game that feels weirdly personal? You know, like a dream you are absolutely certain you've had before, but you just can't place it? Some stories don't just entertain us, they feel like they're speaking to some hidden part of our own minds. And today, we're going to figure out why.
Right? So why is that? What is it about games like Alan Wake, where the shadows literally whisper your own fears back at you? Or Silent Hill, where that fog feels like it's hiding your personal guilt, that makes them feel so hauntingly familiar? And how come in a series like Persona, the real fight, the real battlefield, is always inside the human mind?
Well, the answer might come from a pretty unexpected place, an early 20th century psychologist named Carl Jung. He had this wild idea he called the collective unconscious. Just picture it, a deep, hidden network that connects every single one of us. It's like a shared hard drive for humanity, full of all our myths, our symbols, and our deepest, most primal fears. It's where our nightmares are born, but it's also where we find our heroes.
So, let's explore this map, shall we? Jung's model of the mind is honestly like a level design for the human soul, a whole mental landscape that we're all navigating whether we know it or not. We're about to take a deep dive right into the player's psyche.
Okay, so Jung broke it down into three main layers. Up on the surface, you've got the conscious mind. That's you, the self you know, the one holding the controller. Think of Link from The Legend of Zelda. He's the one acting, deciding, and pushing forward. But if you go one level deeper, you hit the personal unconscious. This is where all your own forgotten memories, your regrets, your secrets are stored. This is the entire world of Silent Hill. Those creepy, fog-filled streets, that's not a real town. It's a physical map of trauma. And at the very bottom, that's the collective unconscious. This deep, shared pool of human memory is what gives games like Metaphor ReFantazio their incredible power, tapping into ideas and symbols that feel ancient and true.
Now, Jung believed that this deepest level of the mind is kind of like a stage, and on that stage are these ancient, universal characters he called archetypes. And here's the kicker. These aren't characters that writers invent. Jung argued that we inherit them. They're already inside all of us.
And what's so cool is that once you know what to look for, you see these characters everywhere in games. You've got the hero, obviously, like Link, always on a journey to bring balance to the world. You've got the trickster, like Joker from Persona 5, who's there to break the rules and force everyone to change. You have the anima, that inner voice of emotion and truth, perfectly captured by Maria in Silent Hill 2, who is basically a walking projection of James's own hidden desires and guilt. And then, there's the shadow.
Out of all the archetypes, you could argue the shadow is the most powerful one for telling a good story. This is the part of yourself you push down, the parts of your personality you deny even exist. It's your anger, your guilt, your secret ambitions, your inner darkness.
And this leads us to one of Jung's most famous quotes, and it's a heavy one. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. What he's really saying is, if you don't turn around and face your own shadow, it will absolutely control you, and you won't even know it.
And this simple idea is the engine for so many incredible games. That moment of confrontation with the shadow is everything. If a character denies it, like we see in Silent Hill 2 or at the start of Persona 4, it literally becomes a monster that hunts them down. But if they accept it, if they embrace that part of themselves, that very same dark energy becomes their greatest strength. It becomes their ultimate power-up.
This whole epic journey of confronting your shadow and bringing all these hidden parts of yourself together actually has a name in Jung's work: individuation. And this is the true quest. It's not about slaying the dragon. It's the process of becoming a complete, whole person by integrating the light and the dark parts of your own mind.
Now, it's super important to get this right. The goal isn't to become some perfect, flawless hero. It's about becoming complete. Think about it. In the Persona games, the characters don't kill their shadows, do they? No, they accept them, and that's how they awaken their true power. In the game Control, Jessie doesn't destroy the chaotic hiss, she learns to contain and integrate its power. The goal is always balance.
Okay, so for all you creators, designers, and storytellers out there, how do you actually use all this stuff? Well, Jung's map of the mind isn't just some dusty old theory. It is a powerful blueprint for building worlds and characters that connect with people on a much, much deeper level.
So here are some questions you can start asking yourself. When you're making a character, ask, which archetype are they? What part of the human psyche do they stand for? When you're building a world, ask, what feeling does this place represent?
I mean, Silent Hill uses thick fog to make repression a physical thing you have to walk through. Control uses that stark, brutalist architecture to symbolize overwhelming order and control. And then you have Persona, which just goes for it and turns the entire human psyche into a literal dungeon you can explore.
Because at the end of the day, when you start using these ideas, you're not just designing a game anymore. You're creating a mirror for the soul. You're building an experience that lets the player explore their own inner world, all through the actions they're taking on the screen.
Jung had another quote that just nails this whole idea. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. Remember how we started this whole thing by asking why some games feel like dreams? Well, maybe the answer is that the really great ones, the ones that stick with us, they aren't just about looking at a screen. They're about getting us to look inside ourselves.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The games that we can't stop thinking about years later. They're rarely about just getting the high score or beating the final boss. They're about awakening. They're about that one powerful moment when a character, and through them, the player, finally meets their true whole self.
So, to all of you out there who are building the next generation of games and stories, I'll just leave you with this thought. You have the map now. You know the ancient, powerful characters that live inside every single one of us. So the question is, what archetype will you bring to life? What journey of awakening are you going to create?